Hello there. Faith in UK democracy is collapsing. The people realise the UK is a tinderbox, and they know that this government will continue the nation's destruction. The people know civil unrest and worse is coming, whether we want it or not, and I definitely do not want it. But what the people don't know yet is the time, the place, and the spark that will set it in motion. They are just waiting. You can see it on social media. You can hear it in the pubs and coffee bars. It's everywhere. Everywhere, you would think, in the closeted minds of those who live in the Westminster bubble as well. But I wonder if they are all very well aware of it, or worse, egging it on. What do you reckon, Richard?
Absolutely, Jeff. You see, it's not just us, Jeff, and it's not just probably you viewers watching this. This is the MPs. This is the civil servants and the press. Everyone is waiting. We know that something's coming. We can see the direction of travel. We can see the mood of the nation. And firstly, I have to say, this video it's not inciting anything. It's just reflecting I suppose, on observing the growing public unease to the state paralysis, effectively, which is what we have, and the institutional stress that we are seeing, where nothing is seeming to hold together. I mean, this video, to be honest with you today, we're trying to warn of the consequences of the ongoing political neglect that's taking place in this country. Everybody knows that this situation isn't stable, okay? What's going on with people coming across? We're seeing them come across today, across the channel today. We're seeing footage of it on GB News, and more people are going to be put up in hotels, and a lot of people aren't happy with that because, of course, they're racist and far right. We must remember that at all times. The only reason somebody would not be happy at this would be if they're racist and far right, isn't it? No. You can't be a concerned citizen and be wanting to voice your opinion against this. But everyone knows what's coming, Jeff. We're all bracing for it. I mean, look at the Online Safety Act. It's trying to prevent people like yourself and myself especially from being able to say what we really want to be able to say on this matter, on this platform or any other social media platform. I mean, the whole thing it's been framed as safety to protect children, when right now the reason that this country is so angry is because our children are not safe. And it's not coming from the online safety issues, which there are, of course, in many cases. This is coming from somewhere else. And we all know where it's coming from, Jeff.
Yes, so just quickly on the Online Safety Act, they put this in, it's going to protect all the children. The trouble is that over the last 30 years, the youngsters have had to face offline action, haven't they? It's all been offline, all the grooming offline, not online. So I want them to get on and investigate that quickly and efficiently and ruthlessly. But that's just another matter. At the end of the day, we vote and the politicians in government just wander off and do exactly what they want to do, knowing they have no comeback on them for 4 or 5 years. And it's now so bad that people are grasping a cold, hard fact that maybe voting does not matter or does not produce the results we want, when the establishment uniparty state just carries on regardless. Anyway, the people have grown weary and are now angry at the political lies, manoeuvring and the government's anti-UK actions, because that's what they are. The government is meant to protect the people, but the numbers of undocumented male newcomers increases by the day, with the numbers of hotels, houses of multiple occupancy, flats and even houses being allocated for them fast rising, leaving no room for our own young Brits, other than to stay living with their parents. And as for Keir Starmer's one in, one out scam, this from GB News. A day after Sir Keir Starmer's government announced the signing of a migrant returns deal with France, people smuggling gangs have given their response, sending hundreds more migrants into the English Channel. Now, if that isn't sticking a couple of fingers up in our direction, I don't know what is. And that scam is not a one in, one out, because for everyone we send back to France, we have to bring one in anyway. They all come, they all stay. And the number of loopholes people are pointing out in this stupid proposal shows just how badly drafted that plan really is. Actually, I think it's meant to be that way. It's meant to be full of all those loopholes to ensure no one ever leaves this country. And anyone who criticises this faces the prospect of some shadowy intelligence unit tracking you on social media with the intent of investigation, arrest and locking you up. A shadowy intelligence unit, by the way, that is set up in exactly the same way and for the same reasons as the Tories set up the pandemic unit, to shut down all dissent hard. And as far as I can see, there are enough sparks in there to feed many a civil unrest. What do you reckon?
Yes, one of the things we don't talk about too much, well, we have mentioned, I've just put something up there, Jeff, if you can put it up on the screen. It's from Alison Pearson, it is. It's a screenshot I took off her Twitter. And it's basically, she's saying, talking about the people who are coming into this country, okay? Now, this is referencing stoning, apparently returning to Afghanistan, the stoning of women for adultery. Just if you've been accused of adultery, you will be stoned. Now, she is absolutely correct that it is from this barbaric country whom we are admitting in their thousands to Britain, men from this country. How is it that that's safe for women and girls? Now, this is an absolutely terrifying prospect. It's not just the illegals. There are people who are coming to this country who have been flown in secretly, when I believe, was it only 1 in 16 were legitimate, Jeff?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something about that sort of proportion, yeah.
1 in 16 of those people who had helped this country during the Afghanistan conflict, but only 1 in 16 of those brought in was legitimate. So the rest of them we do not know. And these people are holding very, very different values to us. I'm sorry to say, that's what it is quite clear with what's going on in Afghanistan. This is not racism. This is not prejudice. This is a basic and direct observation. Okay? That's it. There's nothing more to say on the matter. But
yeah,
please realise,
I will say it's not.
Go on.
Yeah, go on, Richard. Go on. Sorry.
No, after you, Jeff. Go on.
Well, I was going to point out this isn't racist. The whole thing is it's actually culturalist. You know, that's the new one that will be coming out. You can't be culturalist. All cultures are equal. Are they indeed? And at the moment, we've actually, if looking at Alison Pearson's statement there, does that mean that every single woman and girl in Afghanistan should now be brought over to the UK because they're unsafe in their own country? Is that what that now means? Does that mean that every single person, every single woman or girl in one of these countries has to come here to be safe?
That's a very good point, actually, Jeff. I mean, that's what I can see the government doing. I mean, I'm a big fan of Alison Pearson personally as well. You know, she's done some. She's probably the greatest journalist this country has left at the moment. But to be honest with you, as you said, Jeff, this is one of many flashpoints that this country is now facing. Okay, we have the collapse of the NHS. That's another thing we just don't talk about. You can't get to see a doctor in this country. And I wonder why yet certain arrivals can get to see doctors and dentists straight away. You try getting an NHS dentist appointment, incidentally. It's, not exactly easy. But we also then have to look at other factors contributing towards the collapse of this country, which is, let's look at the economy, Jeff. You know, this is something we really need to look at. I mean, Rachel Reeves came to power, and you had Rachel Reeves and Keir Starmer both speaking together in unison with that same voice. They've got the same voice. I'm sure they're clones.
Yeah, they have.
Like one's a female clone. You know, talking about the 22 billion black hole. There's a 22 billion black hole that we've inherited from the Conservative government. Yeah, okay, whatever. Well, apparently, now that there is was it a 50 or 51 billion pound black hole that has been discovered, which is quite interesting. So yeah, and that's I can't remember where did that come from. I can't remember the source for that. Yeah.
Oh, it's everywhere, Richard. Everyone knows
Yes,
about
well,
it. It suddenly
yeah, no.
appeared. It just suddenly appeared.
Yeah.
Just boom.
51 billion. So we've gone from 22 to. So is that an extra created, 30 billion black hole? That's or whatever, 29 billion.
Or is it a
30 billion black
completely
hole.
new black hole? Is it a new one? Is there a 22 billion black hole here and another one 50 odd here? Must be told, mustn't we?
Yeah, well, they won't tell us that. That's for sure, if that's the case. But no, there's so many factors leading towards this country being a tinderbox. Everyone I speak to, Jeff, is saying we are waiting for something to kick off. And it's not fun. It's not right. We shouldn't be going through this. And a lot of people are beginning to question, are we going to be able to vote our way out of this? Will, if they come to power, reform really deal with all these issues? It appears on there are many examples where it suggests that they won't now. And that's the terrifying bit, because to be honest with you, I can't see anyone by 2029 being able to take on the Tories unless there is a large movement of people and support towards it, a new groundswell. There is time for it. It could happen. It could happen with Advance UK, combined, because I believe Advance UK and Tommy's now saying that the cultural movement and Advance UK are now moving hand in hand. Which I found very interesting. It could happen, Jeff. Over to you, mate.
Yeah. On the, talk about the economy, the government is actually meant to protect our economy. But it does the reverse, spraying all our hard-earned dosh up the wall of multiculturalism. And as Richard said, we've gone from no black hole to a 22 billion black hole to a 50 billion quid black hole, all in the space of 1 year. This tells us all that the tax burden will be going up before the end of the year. I hope you've all bought your Christmas presents early, if you can afford them now, that is, because you probably won't be able to afford them by December. And this is also already having an impact on us, all these rising taxes. There are fewer jobs out there now because employers cannot afford to take people on, and they can't afford the risk of taking people on in case they can't get rid of them if they're useless from day one. So they're not employing people, and they're not employing youngsters especially. Oh, and if Christmas will be allowed to go ahead, of course, so you might buy all those Christmas presents and not be allowed to give them out, not be allowed to put a tree up at this rate, given that everything British offends all the newcomers. Or so our woke lefty masters and our woke lefty police and our woke lefty courts tell us it does. How come we end up importing so many easily offended people?
Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of strong feeling as well in the comments today, Jeff. A lot of people are echoing what we're saying, that they are expecting something to happen in the next 12 months. And this is not something that any of us want. This is a terrifying situation. We have been let down by the establishment. And there's one person in particular who has let us down. I'm sorry to say, it's His Majesty the King. This is his government. This is his judiciary, which backs it up. His Majesty's Justice Service, you might even say. His Majesty's Police Force, His Majesty's Armed Forces. Everything is His Majesty. We have Royal Navy ships now bringing newcomers onto our shores once they leave France. I mean, what's going on? RNLI, the lifeboat itself, the lifeboat institution, which we all have cherished and been proud of, is now a taxi service. Ferrying people into this country. People are getting more and more angry. And I just pray that something changes, Jeff. And we can't sort of just say that this isn't going on. This is why you and I, in particular, cover this subject matter. Because we can see what is happening. We know where this will end up. And this is basic observation, Jeff. Go on.
Oh, yeah. And 1987 says, make no mistake, if you're a woman, it's not safe to walk around on your own anymore. Don't take the risk and become a statistic. Yeah, that is a position that I'm hearing more and more. When I was at the Voice of Wales meeting a couple of weeks ago, which was in Wales, which I covered a little bit on, one family there said they can't leave their home. The girls, the wife and the girls, cannot leave their home. And I thought, what is going on? What is going on? They're too frightened. Not frightened because they're bigoted or anything, but they're frightened from a lived experience. So I really do sort of hate all that. So, yeah.
Well, you hit the nail on the head there, Jeff. It is a lived experience by many in this country. Many of the people
That's the
who
problem.
are typing
That's
away.
the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, yes. Many of the people typing here are people who are living the experience of being too frightened to leave their front doors. You know,
Yeah.
and this has been going on
And
for a
as-
very long time.
yeah.
And it's not just men and women. So women and girls. This is men as well. There are men in certain parts of this country now who are too frightened to leave, not because of the same advances or the same sort of crime that would be committed potentially against them, but a crime could be committed against them. They feel unsafe. They feel like they're not in their own country anymore. I can't think why.
Yeah.
They must be racist, Jeff. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. They've got to be
Absolutely,
racist.
yeah.
Yeah, totally
Yeah.
far right and racist. So we have to say that. Absolutely. Yes, yes.
As David said, Starmer sat next to Trump and lied to the world. Yeah, that was about the freedom of expression and all that sort of thing, wasn't it? And then goes off and backs Hamas. Yes, he has backed Hamas. There is just absolutely no other way of interpreting it. He's going to the UN, or his representative is going to the UN in September to declare a Palestinian state. It's not defined, it doesn't exist, but they're going to declare it anyway. And it actually, doing so would actually breach, as far as I'm aware, international law, an international treaty. But they're going to do it anyway because they have to placate people and they have to fend off Jeremy Corbyn's new party. That's all it's all about. And we're being thrown under the bus because of it. So, yeah. Just sort of moving on a bit. There is a push now to get an early general election. And this comes from the columnist, once again, Alison Pearson, the one who had her door knocked on by the police last Remembrance Sunday. Do you remember that? Anyway, she's put this on X. You can sign this petition calling for an immediate general election, 80,000 signatures already. Let's embarrass the useless government. Yeah, the more people that we have there, and if it goes over 100,000, they have to debate it, don't they? So but the debate doesn't happen in the chamber. It happens in Westminster Hall, which has no binding sort of result on anybody, but at least it gets talked about. But if we can get that up into the millions, that would be brilliant. So, yeah, that would be a good result. But it's not going to change anything until we bring it home to this bunch of charlatans in government that they've got it all wrong. So, yeah. But the indicators are that if we did have a general election right now, both the Tories and Labour would be destroyed. Well, that's going to happen anyway, so I say bring it on now. At least it will give the country a truly political way out of this doom spiral we're in, wouldn't it? In fact, Keir Starmer probably, in reality, constitutionally, has a duty to do so now, because he has put this country right into the mire. He's been unable to do anything he said. Smashing the gangs for one. It's getting worse. And his plan is not going to work. His one-in, one-out plan is not going to work.
Well, no, we're paying for
there
it.
you
We're
go.
paying for the actual transport costs both ways, I
Yes,
believe.
Yes.
Yes, Britain
Yes,
is
we are.
paying for the...
Yes.
So, I mean, this is just another example of how the British taxpayer has been shafted. By the way, thank you, Untamable, for your super chat. That's much appreciated. Thank you very much indeed for that. There's quite a few, comments coming in here supporting reform and also advance. So once again, we just have to make sure that the right unites. That's the most important thing. Few people complaining about a chap called Abdul in here. The British are not likely. The British are not like they used to be. You have become weak and soft. I think we did become weak and soft. I think we're starting to get a bit of a backbone there, Abdul, to be honest with you. I'm starting to see it. Unfortunately, it may be too much of a backbone, and many of us do worry about overreach. Okay? That's something we're all very worried about, is the potential overreach of people becoming a little bit too angry, and that the backbone becoming more than just a backbone, becoming something quite negative. And that's something that I have to be very careful in what I say, Abdul. Please understand that.
Of course.
And you are welcome to criticise and yes. So you know me, Jeff. I just
we love the trolls. We love the trolls.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah. You can't
trolling.
Be a good troll. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's all
Something
there
is brewing, says Raven. You can almost taste it. Yes, you can. And that's why we're sort of commenting the way we are, because you can. It's got to that sort of position, hasn't it? The government is not listening. They don't care. They have their instructions from somewhere or other, and they're going on with them, and they know we're of no consequence to them. In fact, I'm wondering whether they think there won't be a general election in 2029. They're that stuck in their ways. They probably think they can get away without having one. Wouldn't put it past them, would you?
I think it's going to come soon. I do personally, Jeff. What did I read as well? That Angela Rayner, that whole allotment thing was a dig at Jeremy Corbyn. That's how pathetic.
Oh, I've got that. I've got that one. Yeah, I'll just show it. This is getting ahead. Richard's getting ahead of himself again. But I'll put this one up. You're absolutely right, Richard. This came from Dr. Ian Darcy, and he says, Number 10 staffers tells me that the selling off allotments policy was issued in revenge after Jeremy Corbyn announced his new party. Staffer tells there was a meeting on Monday to decide how to react, and this one got passed. And Rayner was sent out with it this morning. And that was yesterday. So there you go. It just shows you how petty-minded these people are, doesn't it? Absolutely reprehensible. But he also adds this. No, that's the wrong one. I think I put the same one in twice, have I?
This is Jeff and technology, you see, ladies and gentlemen. It's a terrifying thing to behold. It really is.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. I think... but basically, he put a comment to his own tweet out, basically backing it up. So, yeah, what a bunch of little-minded charlatans. If a tenth of that is true, it just shows, doesn't it? And it comes on the back of the farmers, doesn't it? Yeah? And it comes on the back of the VAT on school fees, and it's all backfiring on them. The whole thing. Net zero. Oh, just don't get me started.
Oh, go on, Jeff. Let's get Jeff started. Who wants to see Jeff revved up? You can't beat a good Jeff rant. It's even better than one of mine. And mine are pretty good.
Yeah. Now, why can't I? Wait a minute. Oh, there's thanks very much to Toby Kadachi. He says, very provocatively, peacetime is over. Protests and petitions do nothing. We need a revolution. Starmer needs to be dragged out of number 10, where we couldn't possibly condone that sort of behaviour, could we? Never in a month of Sundays.
Oh, no. That's something we cannot condone, obviously, and especially with the new Online Safety Act. You cannot say such things. I mean, it would be inciting if we were to say, what would it? Or maybe it wouldn't be inciting. It wouldn't be inciting. No, I don't know. Maybe it would or maybe it wouldn't, but you've got to be careful.
Yes, you've got to be careful. Yes. Your country needs you to be careful. Your country needs you to be careful. Yes. Far left civil servants and judges have destroyed this country, says Cervantes. Yeah, absolutely right. Now, one little bit of snippet of news may have missed people is that in the latest polling, Nigel Farage's Reform UK is rising still in the polls. And according to a recent YouGov poll, it's now on 28%, according to YouGov, which is 7 points clear of Labour and 11 points clear of the Tories. But in extra sort of, when you dig into the data, in just over 2 weeks, by the 4th of August, on the 18 to 24-year-olds bracket of that poll, Reform UK has gone from 8% to 20%. From 8 to 20% in 2 weeks, Reform UK has risen in the 18 to 24-year-olds. That puts them in third place behind Labour and the Greens, each on about 24%. But they're staying level or coming down gradually, and Reform UK in that age bracket is going up.
Yeah.
And that tells you a lot. And you do wonder about the 16 and 17-year-olds, don't you? What will happen when they're increased in those polls? What will happen then?
Yeah, a lot of this is down to, I've got to say, Reform are being very savvy about their social media impact and how they're using social media. They're using TikTok, for instance. They can see where people are. It's like, it's just us old fogies, using YouTube.
Yeah.
TikTok, what's that? What's something that's on the clock, isn't it, Jeff? Yes.
There's a Snapchat or something as well, isn't there?
Yeah. It's Snapchat, yes. TikTok, yes, I can hear it, yes.
Yes. What was that old joke? Someone said they were going to amalgamate Twitter and Facebook at one stage and call it Twitface or something like that anyway. Yes. Oh, someone's answered to an earlier posting. Someone put up, Tommy's been arrested. Tommy is on bail unless he's been rearrested today, which I don't think happened because I had a quick Google. But he's out on bail with no charge, by the way, as far as I'm aware, which is good news. They took one look at the video, and I think Tommy was just cock a hoop and laughing, said, proves my point. But we'll find out later.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about the state of this country. I mean, we were also hearing about people from other countries now. I think, was it Mexico is one, and Australia, that people have been warned about the crime levels here before they come here. The governments are warning now their citizens.
The cheek of it. The sheer cheek of foreigners to say how bad Britain is and how dangerous it is here. That's our job to tell them.
Yes. No, I do think that it says a lot about the state of the nation and the optics on the United Kingdom at the moment. The way people are looking at Britain and view us. For us, it's become normal. Oh yeah, we can't say what we want to. We're too frightened to say anything. Yeah. Although I did read, I think I mentioned briefly yesterday, that it's 82% of Germans are too frightened to speak their minds. There's something that's happening across Europe, to be honest with you. It's not just the United Kingdom, but the United Kingdom is particularly bad right now. I mean, how many of you would actually type what you really think if you knew that there was... not using an alias now, but I'm talking about if you typed what you actually thought, you wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it. None of us could do it unless we just anticipating or trying to facilitate our own arrests. I suppose that's where we're at. Good grief. Well, what a country, mate. What a country, Jeff. It's like you've got. Yeah. When you think about it, you've got schools as well. That's the other thing we don't talk about that often. Schools are overwhelmed as well by people coming in, and this is through legal migration, not illegal migration. But then again, you do have certain persons who are saying that they're school age and entering our schools. And on all this within the infrastructure of local authorities, many of which are now bankrupt. It's just absolutely crazy.
Now here's another one. Shreov Chun says Tommy is sadly a Zionist-run puppet or fraud. I think Tommy would totally disagree with that picture. Yeah, so you see, what people don't realise what's going on in this country. There are two sides. There are those who want to support the Palestinian side and those who want to support the Israeli side. But it goes deeper than that. It goes much deeper. It's those who support a Jewish state and those who don't, who want to see it destroyed and the Jews run out of the area. And this is where we're at. And these different ideologies are playing out on all of these social media across the whole thing. We have imported a massive conflict. In Britain, we've imported that conflict to us, and it now takes place on our streets. and it's going to get worse unless the police and the government crack down on it hard. Then it's only going to get worse. And we need to deport anyone who does anything, who incites any violence on either side. I don't care which side. Out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quickly, gone.
But the thing is, Jeff, why do you think, right, that you've got Israelis and Iranians standing next to each other? And I'm not talking about the IRGC stooges. I'm talking about why you've got so many Iranians standing next to Israelis. It doesn't compute in the minds that those people who are like, there's children suffering in Gaza. Of course there's children suffering in Gaza. That's because of Hamas and because of Iran. It's not because of Israel. And actually, there's something I'm going to put up in a second, Jeff, if you can continue a second, if I can find this screenshot.
Yeah. Okay, you find the screenshot, and you can see it even in the chat. There's one person saying we must now bow down to this new religion. No. I bow down to my religion only, not anybody else's. And absolutely. I make that decision totally. So there you go.
Yeah, so I've just put that up there, Jeff.
Bear with me.
This is something worth knowing, and this is from the New York Post.
Yeah, sorry, I'll just put this one up. Thanks very much, Toby Kadachi. When I was 15 in 2008, we had 4 18-year-old Arabic men join our year group at school. They openly admitted how old they were. So why were they allowed to stay? It just shows you how stupid and woke our system is, that they can't do the right thing. Totally and utterly. Yes. They need clearing out. The education system needs clearing out. It's got worse since 2008, I'm sure.
Yes.
Anyway, I shall now put up this. I saw this as well. Oh, which one's that one? Why have it still got that one up? Remove.
There we go. Jeff and technology.
Let me just try. Technology is getting the better of me again.
He'll press every button.
I'll press every button. Every button that's available, I'll press it.
Yeah.
I've even cancelled myself on my own show before pressing all the buttons.
Yes. That is true. That is true.
Yeah. I cancelled myself. I had to re-come in. 90% of UN aid trunks in Gaza were looted by starving Palestinians, armed actors, before reaching destinations, says officials. Yes, and there's lots and lots. I've been online and I've seen these things. It's not a bunch of IDF people getting in the way of these all these aid convoys. It's armed thugs sat on top of them,
Hamas.
Driving them at
Hamas.
speed. Yes, Hamas. Yes,
Hamas are starving their own people.
Yes,
it's absolutely disgraceful that people can come out and support, waving their Palestinian flag saying from the river to the sea. From the river to the sea right now, I can tell you what's going to be wiped out from the river to the sea, and unfortunately, that could very well be the young children of Gaza, but not at the hands of Israel, but at the hands of Hamas and Iran. That is what people have to understand. This is an awful situation. God bless those children in Gaza. God bless them. Honestly, I pray for those children, and as we should pray for the Jewish children as well. But the fact of the matter is very simple. People need to understand who is the aggressor, who is starving those children.
Yeah, and it's not the Israelis. The Israelis even tried to set up with Donald Trump special aid positions so they could hand aid out, but the Hamas operatives started shooting people. That's who actually did it. All the rest is lies.
Yes. Yeah, I'm reading here, Karen Beveridge. Hamas were shooting their own people. Yes, exactly that. You've got people who are starving to death, running to try and get some food, and they might have to steal from the Palestinian authorities, which in Gaza usually means Hamas. In fact, it does mean Hamas. So they were trying to get something so they could just feed their own children. What happened? I've seen the footage of them. They were shot, tortured. Sorry. If people are going to turn up supporting the Palestinian Action Front, on this weekend. Is it this Friday or Saturday, Jeff? I think
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday.
This Saturday in London. They're going to be there, or not just in London, right across. They're trying to overwhelm our security forces and everyone by going out to mass support for Palestine Action. If you're going out to do that, you are pro the death of those children. I'm sorry, there's no other way to write this, to say it, to read it. Yes. You are encouraging that. That is what you are encouraging.
Yes. Now, Wayne H says Tommy needs to hire some guards. Actually, expensive, very expensive to do that properly. And it's not just sort of one guard. It takes a section, a number of people for round-the-clock protection. He normally goes out on his own. I've seen him. I've been with him when he's just wandered off on his own after a meeting or before this. Or the only reason that people come around is when they see him and they come up to him and have a chat. And people do that. In fact, I've seen many, many more people support him and come up to him and want to shake his hand and help than I've seen people go up to him with
absolutely
other intent.
But it only takes one minority.
Idiot.
Yeah, it takes one idiot. That's all it takes. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sort of reading here as well. P. Wright has said here, what about the hostage in the Gaza tunnels? That is starvation. That's absolutely pitiful. What I've seen is awful. Yeah. You're so right there, P. Wright. Being told to dig his own grave, and his own mother just came out recently and said, "You lot who are supporting Hamas, do you know what you're supporting?" And then you get people say, "Oh, we don't support Hamas. We just support the people of Gaza because Israel's bombing them and it's the genocide." It is a genocide. Oh, you're absolutely correct there. But the genocide that is desired is not of the Gazans. It is of the Jews. And that is the Jewish people and the people of Israel. That is what the Iranian regime, not the Iranian people, they don't want the genocide of the Jews. It is the Iranian regime that is looking for this. And they're doing it via their proxies, via Hamas. And then useful idiots like some of you lot who will go down to London and wave the Palestinian flag, not knowing what you're saying or thinking or doing. You've seen a few emotive things on social media of starving children, and you think you have the moral compass in your pocket. You think it's there in your hand, and you think you're on the right side of history. You are not, I can tell you now.
Yeah, the other thing about some of these pictures is they're using children with illnesses completely separate from anything else that is wasting them away. And that is the pictures that these foul, disgusting people use to try and push their political agenda. Makes me vomit.
Oh, yes, that Pallywood is the thing. There are, at the same time, also children in Gaza who are starving. There is no two ways about it. But it's anyone can get their hands on, which will look is eye candy, you might say, for the far left and their agenda. It's hideous. And the extremists of a certain religion I will not mention.
Yes. Yeah, some people are always talking about this genocide thing. There isn't a genocide in Gaza. The population keeps increasing. It means the Israelis aren't very good at it, doesn't it?
Well, yes, that's exactly right, Jeff. Yeah.
And
the feeling in this country is running very, very high, as I've said before. I see if I can find. I do have one more thing to show.
Okay. Yeah.
The terminology being used by, Rupert Lowe has come up with some very strong terminology himself today, and these are his thoughts on.
Right. Let's have a look.
I
am unapologetically in favour of deporting every last Pakistani accomplice. Remove this cancer from our country. Well,
now you can see
that should have happened automatically. Yeah.
Yes. That should be the case. If people are engaging in something which is illegal, which has been an accomplice to these terrible acts that have taken place, to our daughters and to our young in this country and to our women, then why wouldn't you want that? But the rhetoric is definitely stepping up in its intensity, I think, because people are now starting to speak their minds. As a result, yesterday I noticed of the Met placing new charges against Tommy over his online postings, some of which may have been posted incidentally by Tommy's team and not specifically by Tommy. But anyway, Tommy's just said, no, F you, I stand by what is said in this actual tweet. I stand by it, and F you to the Met Police and anyone else who's going to try and impose this thought crime, this hate, what do they call it? Non-thought hate, no, sorry. Non-hate crime, whatever. I can't ever say it's a thought. Yeah, go on.
Non-crime, non-crime, hate incident.
Non-crime, hate incident. Yeah, thought crime, effectively. Yeah. It's
Yes.
thought crime. Let's just break it down for what it is. Wrong speak and all that.
Yeah. No, I'm just looking through some of the comments. They are pretty damning of the government and what's going on. What we need to now do is make sure when we cast our vote, ensure that every single vote counts for the UK, not for some other place on the planet. We need to turn out and do that. We've got to protect ourselves. Other people are protecting themselves. We just seem to be the only ones who don't do it and haven't got a government that will do it for us. Maybe they think we don't care anymore, that we don't care about the UK, it doesn't matter. Well, I do care about the UK and it does matter. So we need to get out there and start voting. Yeah, this is a good point. If people are allowed to see the video of the October the 7th attack, they may change their minds. It's horrendous, and there is some stuff out there, and there is an Israeli site called Hamas, I think, that actually shows all of this going on, and you just look at it. It's just absolutely yuck. How people can do things like that to each other is it's animal behaviour. Nothing.
Well,
more.
apparently there is footage which is worse than that, which is available to watch, and I believe the Israeli embassy were doing viewings of it as well. But apparently there is other footage which is you couldn't watch it. You couldn't watch it. And yet people say, well, they're only reacting to all these years of oppression by Israel. That's effectively what these people are saying. A lot, I won't mention any names of any celebrities, but I think we all know which one in particular I'm talking about. One who's very vocal and got into a bit of hot water around the time of the October 7th atrocity, where he did say, well, it's awful. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, but but the Palestinians, they have been through an awful lot, so you can't blame them. That was the kind of the rhetoric that was coming out.
Right. Cornish nasty. No mention of Zionists causing this. Another brainwashed channel. No, you're the brainwashed one. If you just think on it's all Zionism. Zionism controls the planet. Well, at the moment, it doesn't look like it to me because the UN and most of its makeup want to get stuck into them. A load of politicians in this country want to get into them. So you think they control the planet? God, dear me. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, a few comments against our illustrious king as well. Caroline Georgina. Charles needs to go. Well, I mean, good grief. Saying that we've got a king who isn't doing his job and might be siding with another side. Well, I say that's a bit strong, isn't it? I would never say anything like that, would I, Jeff? Oh, no. No.
Definitely not.
But yes, but Rupert's saying what a lot of people are thinking, and another tweet he said he posted the other day where he said, I don't care if you call me racist, xenophobic or transphobic, whatever. I just want my country back. I don't care. People are beyond caring. It's like if somebody calls you a racist, for so long, Jeff, you and I have had to justify ourselves. Say, look, we're not racists. You know, it's like it's just ludicrous to call us racist. To be honest with you, but
I get.
we still
I
say
just
it. But
get
no, I just don't care. Call me a racist. I really don't care. It means nothing. Those words mean nothing now. All those people on the left who had been spouting this left, far right racist. Honestly, what you've done is you've made people like Jeff and myself just realize that your words mean nothing. You know, when you shout out in front of us, like they did in Wales the other day in that thing we went to, when they were shouting out that event, Nazi scum off our street, and they were pointing at us. I thought, no, you're the Nazis. What did the Nazis do in World War II?
They just didn't come to debate. They didn't come to debate.
No, they can't. They can't debate.
No,
they're not capable
did you
of
know?
it.
I tell you, there's one thing. They're told not to debate. They're told to shout and scream, wave flag, but do not debate, because they know if they debate, they lose. They know it, so they tell their people not to debate in case they lose. Don't debate. Shout, scream, point fingers, wave your flag, then go.
There's only one type of debating they're good at, and that's another type of thing that is, but abating anyway.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you have to realise that they're shouting out, Nazi scum off our streets and all this sort of thing. Yet there they are, supporting with their Palestinian flags, supporting groups of people who want the Jews to be killed. Now, why would they do that? Doesn't that make them closer to the Nazis? But they're socialists. They can't be, of course. Sorry, silly me. Oh, hang on. The Nazi Party with the National Socialist German Workers' Party, as I recall, something like that.
Socialist.
All right. Yeah, the word socialist is very prominent in the word Nazi when you go through it. So, all right. Okay. As Sharon here says, sticks and stones. Yeah, Sharon 2375, sticks and stones. Absolutely. Stephen Garner. Yeah, it's called projection. Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah, and loads of people saying Advance UK. I think that politically, in terms of achieving the goals and the aims of the movement in this country, the United Kingdom movement, only Advance UK will. I'll put it forward the rhetoric that says we will develop policy.
Do something,
We will develop policy that will facilitate what you, the people, want, that you, the people, need. I'm not hearing that from Reform right now at all. I'm hearing the opposite, to be honest with you, Jeff.
And by the way, the scuttlebutt at the sort of that I've seen, that maybe other people haven't, is that since Tommy supported Advance UK, the numbers of members is rocketing.
It's up to 22,000, I believe, now. Yeah, it's really started shooting up. I think maybe higher than that.
It might be higher than that, Richard.
Wow. Well, that would be fantastic.
Anyway, dear Bertie, goodbye. If you're off because of that, goodbye.
Tommy's is like, what's this? I'm off. Okay. Oh, yeah. Tutty bye. Tutty bye. Oh, why didn't you stay to hurl some abuse at us? Goodness gracious me.
Yes.
Zionist shill. This is the thing you keep hearing. Zionist shill. Jeff, we're skint. They're not. If they
I know.
It's like, this is costing us money. Not, this is actually costs us money.
There you go, Jack. Well done. Yes, and there you go. So
voting don't get your country back, says On Points here. Yes. Let's hope that's not true. And I can't say that I fully agree with that. There seems to be the viewpoint that everyone's coming to. But if I was to fully agree with that, I might be actually breaking the Online Safety Act or saying something that would be, so I can't agree. And I cannot agree with it for that very reason, even if I did agree with it. Or maybe I don't agree with it at all. You'll never know. Or maybe you do know.
Yes. Someone's saying Farage is cooked. Advance UK. Yes. Advance is the only option. Yeah. And someone else is saying, I read the UKIP manifesto online and was instantly sold. Family, community, country, above a quick boost, money, culture over cash. That was all I needed to
no,
see. I mean, yeah,
it was brilliant.
UKIP has
Yes,
got, yeah,
yes, absolutely. There's so many good parties. UKIP and Nick Denconey's doing some fantastic things, saying the right things. I just wish he'd
yeah,
join Advance. We need the right to unite. Whether it's under Advance or some other vehicle, I don't know. Personally, I'm supporting Advance myself for now. If there's an election tomorrow, Advance aren't going to be ready. Neither are UKIP. I'd have to vote Reform, even though I don't think Reform would do anything. It's just continuity. I'd still do it. Just hoping, praying for an incremental improvement.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? And BAT says, Rupert Lowe is straight, but I like that. He would sort things out, but I don't think he supports the welfare state. I don't know about that. Is he that much of a sort of a hard capitalist or something? I don't know. I think most people do support the welfare state, but not as it is today. Right now, we've got a welfare state that you can just fill a form in and it seems you can get loads of money. I haven't tried it myself. I might give that a go later on and see how much I can get out. Everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
Might give that a go.
Yeah, totally. I mean, at the end of the day, it's... Jeff, you might be actually eligible for stuff. That's the thing.
Yeah, could be. I'm ancient and broken enough, yeah.
Well, I'm broken in a lot of ways, so I'm thinking I might be eligible as well.
Yeah, you are. You must be. Yeah.
Well, apparently, yeah.
Someone says Keir Starmer needs to be overthrown. What does that mean? No, I get the sentiment. We need to get him out. Overthrow him politically, of course. Couldn't say it any other way, could we?
No, you couldn't. You'd be going against the Online Safety Act, and it would be inciting and hateful. The only way we want Keir Starmer to leave is via the ballot box. We don't want him to leave under any other circumstances, in any other way. We don't want that. We don't.
We don't want to see him airlifted out by helicopter because of a raging mob now, do we? That would be totally wrong. Of course it would.
Of course it would, yes. That and people who suggest such things should happen are far right, and they are nasty people and have nothing to do with them at all. Yes. There's a few people, I've got to say, there's a political party that I don't mention. It's not for me, okay? But they have garnered a lot of support recently, and that's Britain First. It's not for me, okay? That's it.
No, not for me either.
But they are garnering a lot of support, and they are attracting a lot of patriots, and it does go to show the strength of feeling in this country.
Yeah.
If you went back, say, about just 2 years ago, a year ago even, you would see very little support compared to what you do now for Britain First. If you saw that rally in Manchester, it was astounding. You can see the level of anger, but yeah, it's not for me. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but, whatever.
Yeah.
Good point here, as I keep...
Go on. Yeah, go on.
Okay, somebody just said, Hooper Ball, stop splitting votes. The votes are not unified. Sorry. Yeah, is it? No, is it hyperbole? I don't think it is. No.
Hyperbole. Hyperbole.
No. Is it? Oh, whatever. Anyway, stop splitting votes. The thing is, I believe Farage has already done that. He has split the vote. Many a time. He's split. That's why you've got Ben Habib moving off. That's why you've got Rupert Lowe moving off. That's why Howard Cox had to leave. That's why Tommy is separate to Reform. Even though in the first rallies, Tommy was saying, how many of you support Reform? And everyone shouted, yay! Yeah. He was saying, okay. And even when he was in prison, he said, please, you've got to keep supporting Reform. But it then just got to the point where you're looking at it and you're going, well, what do you actually stand for, Reform? Are you continuation of the Uniparty? Yep. If so, why do we need to support you? What are you going to do? Again, incremental change possibly. Let's just wait and see what happens. But as Rosemary says here, Advance UK. Totally. That's my thoughts on the matter. We've got 4 years.
Well, I don't think we have, because as Joe Blogg says, we're heading for a massive depression. I don't think we're going for a recession. I think we are going for a massive depression, and this is not going to bode well. A lot of people talk about sort of tensions, religious or ethnic, whatever, as sparks. The single biggest spark that any country can have towards civil unrest is when you wake up in the morning, midway through the month, no money in the bank, no food in the fridge, and 2 crying kids. That's what sparks things. And we're going that way because they're going to have to tax us into the earth, and they are going to, fewer people will have jobs. The government will find it hard to find the money to pay all these people, to give them something to live on, and it's not going to be enough. And when when are we going to start seeing the street kitchens and the standpipes, the water, and all the rest of it?
Yeah.
And they're not. And energy. The price of keeping your home warm in winter is going to skyrocket.
Yes.
There is not going to be cheap energy. Food is going to go through the roof as they shut down our agriculture. How do they think this is going to play out?
I think I'm convinced that they want civil unrest, and not just, it's almost as if they're trying to crash the economy for some reason right now. I mean, if you were going to, it's like they're burning the bridges, but not just for themselves, but the bridges for any future government. If they completely collapse the economy at this moment in time and call for a general election, which I do believe will happen, incidentally, quite soon. And I say we've got 4 years. We've got 4 years until we officially have to have a general election. But things might be moving a lot faster than that, which is something you and I have covered before, Jeff. But the thing is, it's like, are they going to leave a scorched earth policy for any government that's going to come in after them? That's what I want to know. I mean, will they absolutely destroy the economy so that reform can come in? Even Advance, if Advance got in, they would be left with very little they could deal with. And somehow everyone would have to feel some form of pain financially, or to an extreme.
Well, I'll just sort of go back a bit, but I remember writing a blog years ago, and I said there will come a time, at the moment what happens, I said back then, is that Labour comes in, redistributes all the money, trashes the economy to try and help the poor. Then the Tories come in, and their job is to build the economy back up, build up the nation's coffers so that we're not in so much debt, so that Labour can come in and then get us back into debt again. The trouble is the Tories learnt that lesson, and I think that last election, by the time they had left the cupboard absolutely bare so that Labour couldn't borrow anymore to try and redistribute the wealth, because it wasn't there to borrow. It's just not there. It's not there to plunder. And the Labour lot are going to do exactly the same as they always do. They're going to leave nothing. And the Tories aren't going to, if the Tories did win, God forbid, if they did, they would just come in and trash the economy further, because they can't leave any spare money for Labour to pretend they're doing a good job with. And I predicted that years ago, and here we are. But there you go.
Yes, something we used to write on those blogs years ago, though, Jeff, is also monetary policy. And that's the only thing we're going to be left with very shortly is helicopter money, effectively, where they act not quantitative easing, actual printing of money. That's the only way that the system will be able to sustain itself, really. And
but helicopter money traditionally
modern monetary theory.
But monetary policy has always been drop lots and lots of money from helicopters into the banks and the corporations so they can continue to function. Which is completely different to giving it to people.
Yes, well, now, modern monetary theory is what I was thinking more along the lines of.
I get it. Paul D says Starmer and Cooper have no right this November to lay a wreath on Armistice Day. They are hypocrites if they do. My forefathers died keeping our borders safe. Absolutely correct. But it's not just Starmer and Cooper, is it? It's that Tory mob too, and the Lib Dems and the Greens, the SNP, the whole lot of them. The whole lot of them. Charlatans to the core. Yeah.
Totally. Well, Jeff,
anyway, yes,
I think we've so ladies and gentlemen, just to round this one off very quickly, please do like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you do subscribe, please click the all option. That way you get notified each time we put a new video out. And if you do really like, especially what Jeff does, become a member. You can do that by going on your Android device or on your laptop or on your desktop. But yes, From the comments I've read here today, Jeff, you can just see it. It's quite simple. The people are anticipating and bracing for some very unfortunate civil unrest, which could start beginning this Saturday. And it won't be the right which triggers this off. It'll be the left. And this could be the flashpoint. Hopefully it won't be. We want to have is a cohesive, peaceful society.
And Angry Gromit says, grow up, you gammons, get a proper job. Well, I think I have got a proper job. I'm trying to tell people what's making this country untick, which is where we're going at the moment. So I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. No one's going to put me off.
No, and and incidentally, when you're talking about a proper job, most jobs don't take as much work and effort and time as this one does, I can tell you now.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Up early, to bed late. Yeah, as ever.
Yes.
Anyway, the left are like the Walking Dead, says Carol Georgina. Well said. And on that note, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him. Goodbye.
Goodbye.